Are you a perfectionist? Now, if you are, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it does also mean that you want to improve, you want to better yourself, and if you better yourself, then you're going to potentially better the world in which you inhabit, and that's just good for everyone. So, okay, perfectionism to some degree isn't all bad, but like with everything, there's always like a balance to be had, and I think if the perfectionism is getting to a point where it's radically degrading the quality of your life, then you need to look at it and you need to think, is this good for me? Is this working for me? And maybe I need to dial it back or change what I'm doing. But overall, I think you just need to give yourself a break. It's quite normal, I think, to try a thing and want to be good at that thing, but then not be good at that thing and then feel bad about that. Like, that's kind of, to some degree, a normal thing. I mean, some people just enjoy the process and they have an optimistic, positive outlook in life in general, and they don't ever chalk anything up as a failure. They chalk it up as just experience, and wow, good for them. For the rest of us, you know, I think we just need to give ourselves a little bit of credit. So if you've been trying something, it's just not been working, like, just back down and just acknowledge the achievements, because the thing that you've done is probably, maybe it is bad, but compared to how you were at that thing yesterday, you are better. You might have thought yesterday that you could or would be really good at this thing if you finally started to try it, if you finally started to make the moves to turn this thing into reality. And in your mind, you might have created this sort of projection of a person who was successful and doing well, but that's not reality. That's just a fantasy in your head. The reality is, perhaps you were no good at this thing and you're still no good at it, but you're slightly better than you were at it before, even if it's just that you now know how hard the thing is. You know, you have new information, you've learned about life, you're now more in touch with reality, and that's something to acknowledge and something to sort of be proud of, basically. So anyway, I just wanted to put that message out there, like, just don't be hard on yourself, because I know what it's like. You're trying to acquire a skill. Let's just say YouTube videos, okay? So I haven't done many of them, and I'm trying to put them out, and you're watching them potentially if you've got this far, and I don't know what I'm doing. But one thing I do know is that I am not a presenter. I don't work well in front of a camera, to the point where, even though this isn't the first ever video I did, but let's just talk about that one. So the first one, I would retake me doing the intro, you know, so it might be like, you know, hi, do you have a problem with perfectionism? And I might have retaken that about 50 times, and then maybe 4 hours into the day of trying to produce a video, I just turn the camera off and I walk away and I think, like, I can't do it. This is just too hard, and I hate myself, because when you look at YouTube, everyone seems to be doing it, because there's just so many examples of people putting content out on the internet, and you just think, okay, well, if they're doing it, why can't I? Because, you know, to be fair, it isn't just one or two select few people that are able to actually talk to a camera. There are thousands, probably, I don't even know, like a few 100,000 videos that do well on YouTube every day. Like, you're probably not aware of them, because your sort of YouTube news feed or the sort of videos that you tend to click on aren't necessarily the ones that other people are clicking on, or the majority of people perhaps aren't even clicking on. You know, maybe you have a specialist interest and you want to find out more about that. I mean, for me, it's kind of more about personal development and psychology and sort of self-understanding and just dealing with modern life and dealing with sort of mental health issues. So that's my shtick, that's what I'm about, and that's also what I engage in. I also engage in videos to do with, you know, creative projects, art, design. I like rock climbing, so I watch a lot of climbing videos. But just think of a sport, for example, and there's going to be a whole community. There's going to be potentially, I don't know, 100 fairly prolific channels devoted to just that one endeavour, whether it's fishing or sailing or you know, just anything. And that is just the genre of sport. You know, when you look at the genres of, I don't know, like arts and crafts, or, you know, just things that, I mean, for me, makeup, hair, beauty, I don't care about that. I'm a guy, we tend not to really be too fussed about that. But there's a whole huge part of the industry which is talking about that. And I guess the point is, it feels like when you acknowledge this, it's like, shit, there's so much stuff, there's so much content, everyone is putting out content. Why aren't I doing it? Why can't I do it? In my personal case, I think, why am I so bad at it? But then my point is, I have to back off. I have to think, whoa. You are not a presenter. You know, when you were growing up as a kid watching TV, you know, I never looked at the presenters on TV and thought, oh, I'd like to do that one day. I'd like to be in front of a camera. You know, I don't have those kind of extrovert, egotistical tendencies where I want to be front and center of attention. It's just, that's not my personality. And I think those people tend to do well because that's what it's all about for them. You know, that's the thing they want to do, so they go ahead and pursue it. You know, for me, being the quiet kid, the sensitive kid, I just wanted to sort of be on my own, draw pictures, daydream, and I never wanted anyone to sort of, you know, I'm quite a private person as well, so I never wanted to put myself out there. So just for an example, you know, I have to think, well, look, I'm a really private person, I'm quiet, I'm introvert, to a large degree I'm socially anxious and highly neurotic, as the channel name suggests. And just to put a video out there, even if it is absolute dog shit, is for me a huge achievement. And I need to go away after I press stop on this video, and I need to just acknowledge that. And if you're trying to do something, whether it is acquire a new skill, or, you know, deepen a relationship with, you know, a family member or a friend, or, you know, work on your, I don't know, social skills, become better at cooking or whatever, like, if you suck at it, you know, that's kind of normal for anyone starting off, even people that get good at things, and even people that get good at things quickly. You know, it's like, good for them, but that might not be you. So you're gonna be bad at the thing that you're trying to do. So just give yourself a break and acknowledge the achievements you've had, and I think that's a good way to be in life. And if you can start doing that from today, just think of one thing that you found actually was quite difficult. Take the time to actually acknowledge that, and don't just pass it off and think, oh, you know, well, everyone can make YouTube videos, everyone goes to work, everyone has to deal with this. It's like, well, no, some people can't deal with it. Some people can't deal with life. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.